Sige, it's already recording. Chain rule. I am not really so sure, guys, why they call it chain rule. Maybe because of how the process is done. They are connected. So if you remember, just a sort of review, if we're going to take a derivative of a function 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus x minus 1, simple. You just have to take the derivative of each term, right? And then simplify if it's possible. So the answer, f prime of x equals, we have 9x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals, I'm sorry, minus 0 because the derivative of 1 is simply 0 man, okay? 1 is a constant. And that's how we do it, right? That's how basically we do or we get the derivative of a function. Now, what if you're going to encounter functions like this? 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 9. So, sir, in this case, sir, we notice that there is an exponent of 9, and the terms that are being raised to the power of 9 are binomial terms. When we say binomial terms, guys, it consists of two functions or two terms. The first term that we have here is 2x, and the second term that we have is 3. Since there are two terms, we call them binomial term or binomial expression. Lagi ako ang ano, lagi should see, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with Zoom. Okay, so how do we go about this, sir? Do we have to expand first before doing the derivative? So you might be thinking, sir, if we will have to this. By the way, guys, can you hear me? Okay, I changed my microphone stand, but yeah,
Yes,
and
sir, I
then
can hear you.
okay, very good. It's not the same thing as last time no nga kato ganing medyo layo kaayo ko sa microphone. I was using Miss Cha's V8 or sound card at the time because I was in school man. Because before or last week, again, nasunugan ng secretary sa senior high school and we're helping in proxy sa secretary. So, motong na ako sa school na klase. And then, I forgot to bring my V8. Ako ang V8, di ba? So, I was using Miss Cha's V8 and I'm not sure anong dili ko madungog. Okay. Let me check. Dapat, I haven't, okay. Nada yung mga tao. Okay, sorry. I have Oy Kingtingan, Keegan, and Fiona. Okay, so going back, um, having this example that you see here, guys, 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 9. What do we do, sir? Thank you so much, Jaika. Do we have to expand it first before getting the actual derivative? So you might be thinking, sir, should I do 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3 dot 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 until the ninth 2x plus 3? And if we're going to expand this, that's going to take a whole lot of time and it's gonna be tedious. And when it comes to examination, I doubt one or for one item 5 minutes is enough for you. So it's going to be hard if we're going to do this process. The chain rule, guys, tells us that to get the derivative of the function, you need to start first with the outermost part of the function. So when I say outer, yes, they are practically good. When I say outermost part of the function, you start with the outermost exponent because that exponent is part of the function, man. So the outermost part of the function is the exponent 9. Starting doing the chain rule, guys, you have to bring down 9. So basically, we are still going to be following the power rule. So I'm going to bring down 9. I will copy everything inside the parentheses. 2x plus 3, right? I will do 9 minus 1. So this notion that I did here, guys, is simple. This was based in the power rule of derivative. Not yet. Kasumpayan pa na siya. This is where the chain rule would take effect or kick in. You have to multiply the entire term by the derivative of the term inside the parentheses. So what is the derivative of 2x plus 3? The answer is 2. Copy? Where did I get 2 here? The 2 here, guys, is the derivative of the terms inside the parentheses, which is 2x plus 3. So if you want to simplify the answer, you would get an answer of 18 times a quantity 2x plus 3 raised to the power of 8. And that's your answer for the derivative. Okay? And this process also works with other type of functions, inverse function, trigonometric function, and logarithmic function. Okay? So let's try to take a look at it here. I'm going to try to do trigonometric function. See? So let's have b of x equals summon sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. Okay. Alexa Pilapil. Okay. So just to let you know, by the way, guys, whenever we write a trigonometric function, I think I have brought this out before that dili ta pwede musuwat og dili ta pwede musuwat og trigonometric function nga cosine lang, sine lang, tangent lang, cosecant lang, secant lang, o tangent lang. We don't write ngayon ana lang siya kutob. Dapat those things na siya apelido or na siya kuyo. Just like this example that you see on your screen here, guys, I wrote sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. This is a whole trigonometric term. Ang kuyog or apelido ni sine, guys, is kaning naa diri, kaning naa sa iyang right side. Okay? So we cannot do inani lang. It's not possible. Masuko ang mga dilingon nato. So how to go about getting the derivative ani nga function, guys? So again, you start off with the outermost part of the function. So the outermost part of the function, guys, is the sine itself. Base a table that I provided you before. What is the derivative of sine? The derivative of sine, guys, is cosine. Tama? Tama? Okay. So if it's cosine, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the cosine first. So b prime of x equals cosine. Copy everything that is on the given. 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4 times the derivative of this term here. Okay? So if we're going to get that, you bring down 4, right? You bring down 4 times, you copy again the terms inside the parentheses, 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4 minus 1 times again the terms inside the parentheses, which is, times the derivative of the terms inside the parentheses, which is 15x squared minus 6x close. Yeah, 6x. Question so far. Maybe they call it chain rule because if you notice, guys, it looks like ang derivatives niya are multiplied to each part of the function. Each part of the function. And notice niyo ang process.
Sir, so final answer na sir?
Wala pa, not yet. I was just asking questions pa if naka-notice mo sa process niya giunsa siya nga naporma siyang inana. It's not yet the final answer, guys. We still have to simplify it, man. No questions so far? So I'm gonna start simplifying it, ha? I'm gonna proceed na, ha? So I just want to make sure ba nga, if you are following the solution. So let's continue. B prime of x equals cosine, okay? 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. I'm going to manipulate all the things inside the brackets. So we have 4, 5x cubed minus 3x squared. 4 minus 1 is simply 3. And then you just copy the terms, the next terms, the binomial terms again. 15x squared minus 6x there. And then I'm going to multiply 4 to these terms here. So we would have b prime of x equals cosine 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4 times, what is 15 times 4? 60. 60x squared minus 24x times 5x cubed minus 3x squared cubed. And you're done. This should be your final answer. There. So, sir, if you're going to ask me, sir, can we not multiply these terms inside the bracket, sir, to the terms of 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4 under cosine? We cannot, because this cosine is a one whole term, and that's a trigonometric term. We cannot multiply a trigo term to an algebraic term. They are totally different things. Okay? So question.
Sir,
Mm,
akong gi-photo math, sir ba?
mm.
Lagi ang answer sa photo math.
What's the answers of photo math? Let me do photo math as well. Sige, I'm gonna explain it to you.
4 sine.
Wait sa.
Okay, ako na lang i-chat, sir.
Natay photo math sa kuan. Let's try to see if makasolve the photo math using the web-based. Kaya if mo login guys, if mo login kung photo math guys, no, ato siya mo route man gud siya sa kuang personal account, you know. I'm also a contributor sa photo math, like answers sa photo math nga mga questions uploaded by students all over the world. And then dili ko ka-scan kay ako ang account is special account sa photo math. So I can. Let me try. I'll try to scan it using my cell phone. And then, ako siyang i-project. Ako i-send sa akong messenger o sa to ang group chat. Photo math. Photo math. Here. So we have d over dx, and then I have where's sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared, and then raised to the power of 4. So the answer that we have, guys, is 4. Okay, I got it. Okay. 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 Yeah, kasi ito nangutan na gani, guys. Was it Gian?
It was Ara, sir.
Ara, okay. Sige, I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna explain this to you, Ara, hang anong the answer in photo math is not correct. I'm going to send this to my one. I'm going to stop sharing ha kay mag-open kog messenger man. And then kasi makita mo mga dili mao ba youths. So let's be careful na lang. So anyway, I just sent it to our GC. Mo na yung nakita ko an. Who was that again? Who was that?
Ara, sir.
Ara, okay. Mo na yung nakita nga answer sa mohang end.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Sige. It's a good thing also no nga we are going to discuss with mga answers sa online softwares kay we want to make sure nga we're getting the correct answer. So guys, this is the answer given by PhotoMath. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my screen here. Entire screen. So this is the answer given by the PhotoMath guys with a given. I just wrote. So you see there, it's 4 sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared, and 3 na yun, and then cosine. Um, we are actually good with this 60 and 5x cubed here. What happened here actually, guys, is I'm gonna show you an example before nako i-answer ng question. I'm gonna show you unsa pag-answer ni Simon Lab, ha? Sige. Yeah, I hope you also have Simon Lab, guys. This is one of the reasons nga nung dili kay ko rely og mga kanang mga unsa ni? How do you call that? Mga computing softwares kay dili sila consistent og answer. Let's try to see. Let's try to see if Simon Lab would have the same answer. Okay. Okay, here. Now, the interpretation actually what happens here, guys. Simon Lab has the same answer. Look at the answer of Simon Lab here. The interpretation, guys, what happens here is that when we plug in this number, ano ba? When we plug in this number, they interpret this as like this: sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. That's how they solve it. In other words, the exponent 4 is actually the exponent of the whole sign. My purpose of my given, or the goal of my given, guys, is only raising this thing here to the power of 4, not including the sign. So if we were to do this process here, if we were to do this, the answer should be this 1K. Diba? You start with outermost part man, so you do 4. And then you copy everything inside the parentheses. So sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared. And then you do 4 minus 1. And that's what you see here. 4 sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 3. That's already your first part of the answer. Then multiply pa yun na siya, guys, sa derivative aning naa sa sulod. Unsa derivative sa sine? Cosine, copy everything, 5x cubed minus 3x squared, close, times na sad sa derivative aning naa sa sulod sa parenthesis, which is, 15x squared minus, ako is wag ka may kayo na ako kasuhat. Ako i-transfer to ang mga noun. Wait sa guys. One moment. Okay. I think this is better. Minus 6x. So if you notice, guys, kaning whole answer, guys, is that one nga naasa Simon Lab, at the same time naasa photo math. But the difference with these two example, guys, is ang kaning interpretation nga gihimo ni photomath is technically raising the entire sine function to the power of 4. This example that I gave, guys, is only raising this term here, 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. That's why it looks different when it comes to the final answer. Na-gets na? Na-follow na ang pattern. Now, so if you're going to ask me, so which one do we follow, sir? Which one do we follow? Depende na sa actual given. As I said earlier, my goal is the 4 here is only for this expression, not including the sign. So the answer should be this one here. But if the given would tell me, or would specify, or would ask you, or would tell you, nga, sir, is the 4 exponent here includes everything, sir, the sign, then the answer is kanina pa. Question. No, dili sila wrong. It's how they interpret the problem. Nagets? Di sila wrong. They are correct, but diba, sometimes some good guys, it's confusing how we organize the numbers. Diba, as much as possible, we place them inside the parentheses. So yeah, mo na siya. They are correct. They are correct if the given is this one here. Ang interpretation mo good ani niya, guys, supposedly the term should the software should not interpret this as this. Kaya dapat ang kung inanion magud siya, guys, ha. I would say if atog yung istriktohon, if mo ni ang gusto ni Simon Lab or ni Photomath, dapat ang ako ang given nga gisuwat should be like this. Sine 5x cubed minus 3x squared. Ana, raised to the power of 4. Dapat inani siya pagkasuwat. Dapat mo ni dapat i-accept nga sa coding sa software para mukuha tag answer nga ilang gihatag nga kani. Kaya ang mahitabo ani manggod mo tong akong gibuhat ani, bring down nimo ang 4, which actually happens mo ni siyang kani mo na ni siya. Pero ang ako ang goal, guys, is not raising the entire sign to 4. It's only kaniraman. Kanirag yung whole, kanirag yung kanarag. Let's try to see if we can find ways, ha?
Sir,
Using
naka-suggestion, sir. Unsaon pag-encode. What
Isod ni mo parentheses ang kanang sakto? That's what
sign, then parentheses, and then another parentheses,
Good.
5x minus
Very
3x.
good.
Outside niya, parentheses 4 niya, outer.
Very good. That's actually one way ka na. Mo nang pasabot kaniha, guys, na sometimes kaya organizing of numbers kay medyo complicated siya. So let me put parentheses. Sige ha. Hindi ko kasunod parentheses. Okay? And then raise to the power of 4. I'm gonna send it. No. Delete. 4. Huh? 4. Huh? Same like yapong answer. Sa Simon Lab, let's try to see. Imagi, sa Photomath. Sa Photomath na.
Pay tray.
Di na ako. Sige. Dapat mag-erase na ko. Wait, mag-erase na ko. Let's try to see if they would get the same answer. So, sine duha. So, ang usa kay 5x to the power of 3 minus 3x squared raised to the power of 4. There. Let's try to see if we have the same answer. There. You see this? This was the let me share my screen, ha. Pagamyan ako. Sige. Tawa. This is our answer, guys. Ay kani portion here. Compare it to here. You might be confused, sir. Ano na ay 4 and then we have 60. Ang kanang 4, guys, ato naman nag-multiply sa 15x squared and negative 6. So that's why we have 60x to the power of 4. 60x to the power of 2 minus 24x. And then 5x cubed minus 3x squared raised to the power of 3. So tanawa, are they the same now? Look at the given. Are they the same?
Yes, sir.
They are. So yeah, mao na siya, guys. And so be careful lang mo, guys, nga. If you use the softwares pa, sir, scroll up sa Simon Lab, please. Okay. Here. This is how I plug in or how I plug in it in Simon Lab. So guys, I know nga it's easy to access because we are doing online classes, but I hope that this system or this software that you are using, guys, would only help you to verify your answers are correct. Okay, this should not be the source of your answer. As much as possible, guys, you do your own work, okay? That's the best way for you to learn and to really work harder para mas makasabot mo sa process. So I would suggest to do it in your own first and then compare the answer to your calculator or your software that you can find online. And then the bad thing also when it comes to Simulabs, guys, and Photomath, there are premium accounts. There might be solutions or problems that they would not tell you what's the answer. I mean, they would tell you the answer right away, but the solutions will not give you information. For example, See, if I'm going to click this lock icon here, if you want to show the solution, it wouldn't let me because I have to have a premium account, and that's a paid account, and that's the same thing with photomath. And as I said earlier, I'm one of those um, people who are answering problems in photomath for $1, di ba? Mga sideline nila. So questions so far, guys, for this one here. I'm gonna kanang maximize the whiteboard na ha para. Okay. So questions so far, guys. None so far. And this is also true if you want to do it with logarithmic function and inverse function and exponential function. The rule will still follow. Okay. So by the way, guys, masabtan na so far because I'm gonna proceed to the next example. I'm gonna explain one item in the book, guys. Na I error, na I typo error. Before that, let me load the book first. So nanata diri, chain rule for differentiation 117 here. So just guys, this is the formal definition of chain rule, and if you're going to read that, wala lang ako nag-explain because it's too technical for you. Samot mo kalibog. And anyway, you're not gonna proceed to engineering field when you go to college. You're not gonna take math as your field during college. So I just explained to you the application right away, how to use the definition, and that's what we did earlier in solving the chain rule. Because it wouldn't make sense man good if ako pa i-discuss inyo ha. Pag doctor man tapuhon may lawas, no? Sige. All right, so I'm gonna explain this example 2.7.2 because there's an error here, guys. Sige ha. And the rest of the items for differentiation sa mga examples sa book, they are good. Correct na sila. Kanila nga ako ang na-notice nga there's something wrong. Siguro when the writer when the author of this book was writing the book, depressed or gibuwagan charot. Shark and depressed or gibuwagan. Anyway, so let's start doing this. So we want to try to find out the derivative of the function, no? So again, you start with the outermost part of the function, which is you're having an exponent of 4. So you bring down 4. You bring down 4, and then copy everything inside the parentheses. So x plus 2 over 3 minus x raised to the power of 4 minus 1, right? The process is familiar. We are using the power rule. Then, after that, you multiply everything by the derivative inside the parentheses. Clearly, the terms inside the parentheses or the expression inside the parentheses is in fraction form. And if we're going to take the derivative of a fraction form, we're going to use the quotient rule. Amen? Amen. So this is going to be our u here, and this is going to be our v. So the quotient rule tells us copy the v first times the derivative of u. What is the derivative of u? X. What is derivative of x plus 2? 1. Tama?
1, sir.
1. Very good. So 1. 1. Minus x plus 2 times the derivative of the denominator, which is negative 1. Tama, kay 3 is 0 man. And then derivative of negative x is negative 1. Over 3 minus x squared. And then you close it. Imo na nang do algebraically. You simplify this thing algebraically. So the answer we would get is 4 x plus 2 over 3 minus x raised to the power of 3. Amen? And then we have 3 minus x. You multiply this negative to negative 1, that becomes positive. So we would get plus x plus 2 over 3 minus x squared. the numerator here in this part here, the negative x and positive x will be canceled out because when you combine them, the result is just simply 0. So we want to simplify this for x plus 2 over 3 minus x raised to the power of 3. And then what is 3 plus 2? Simply it's equal to 5. And then we have 3 minus x squared. Now, and then what is 5 times 2? It's 20. I'm sorry, 5 times 2. 5 times 4. So this becomes 20 x plus 2 cubed over 3 minus x to the power of 5. Question. Nganong na squared ang denominator? Very good. For this part here, Ara, kana? Kani nga part here? Ara, kani?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The reason is, remember mo ato ang quotient rule, guys, of derivative, uv. This is v times dx u minus u dx v over v squared. Nalimot na? Go over with the previous discussion that we have. Atong quotient rule. Doon sa power rule, product rule, of quotient rule. Amen? Amen. So, for this item here, do you get why nganong redundant na kayo? Do you get why we have 3 minus x raised to the power of 5 for the denominator for the final answer?
I-combine ang 3 minus x cubed o 3 minus x squared.
Very good, very good. And since they have the same base, which is 3 minus x, you copy the base, you add the exponent. So the answer for this item, guys, the answer for this item should be this one here. Now let's take a look at the answer given from the book and let's compare it if we have the same answer. Sige, let me minimize. So I'm gonna proceed to the next slide. 119. Here. Look at the answer from the book, guys. So the answer from the book is 16 x plus 1 cubed over 3 minus x raised to the power of 5. Our denominator is the same. Our numerators are not the same. What happens here, sir? Why the book has a different answer? Because this is what I said earlier. Look at the answer. Look at the given from the book, guys. The numerator is x plus 2, right? Take a look at the numerator, x plus 2. If we're going to flip your book to the next page, 119 or 119, look at the solution. For some reason, it became x plus 1. So, the answer, or this thing here, kanina part here, this should have been x plus 2, not x plus 1. So that's a typo error. That's the reason nganong atong answer from here is different from the book. So there's something wrong with how the book presented the solution. Incorrect na siya. This is also one of the reasons I want to point out, guys, nga it matters to me your solution rather than your final answer. I would give larger credit for those people who have the correct solution and the correct answer rather than those people who got the answer correctly but the solution doesn't make sense. So that's why I always check the solutions, guys. Question so far. Because sometimes you can just get the answer right away, but the solution you have to defend. Your solution, guys, is like a written defense of how you got the answer. Question so far? None? Okay. So the book, guys, will show you more examples. This one here. This is also another example. So tanawa. The square root of 4 minus x squared is written 4 minus x squared raised to the power of 1/2. Sa may basis na to, ani, why did we do that? It's due to the laws of exponents, right? square root can be written as an exponent of a half. And then you do outermost part of the function to get the derivative. So you bring down 1/2. You copy everything inside the parenthesis 4 minus x squared. Then you do 1/2 minus 1 times pag yun sa derivative inside the parenthesis. So wala pa niya gikuha ang derivative right away pero nagbutang siya og dx. This dx here is an instruction for you to get the derivative of 4 minus x squared. Okay? Ang kanitong solution nga akong gibuhat here, ako lang siyang gidiretso. Wala ko nagsuwat og dx. Kay if kanang daghang og gisuwat ba mo, musamok magud siya. I wanna make sure nga it's simpler and organized. So going back sa book, so here, the derivative of this 4 minus x squared here is the negative 2x. Diba? Derivative of 4 is 0, and then negative x squared is negative 2x. And then you just simplify. Your answer should be like this. Question. So there are more examples in the book, guys, that you can refer. You can check here another examples. This example 2.7.5, guys, is is a combination of product rule and the chain rule. So yeah, just study this and this one as well, quotient rule and chain rule, and this is also product rule, 3 minus x to the 11 and 5 plus 2x. All right, so these things, guys, chain rule for transcendental function, the derivative that we have covered before will still be applied to the chain rule process. So same thing na ginang mahitabo, guys, wala yung mausap. The process would still be the same. So sir, ano gamit the chain rule? The chain rule, guys, is just an extension of the basic derivatives. Question so far? Wala? None so far. Okay. So kanisha, guys, you can practice this. Right? Okay. So let's go on implicit derivative, guys. Okay. Let me take a screenshot of this item first before we proceed to this one. Sige. I'm gonna ask you guys, what's the derivative of x? What's the derivative of x? Good, perfect. 1. Everyone seems to be correct. What's the derivative of y? What's the derivative of y? Do you say 1 as well? Ambot na. 0 or wala. Sure? Fiona. 0 1. Okay. Di ba ang actual given kay f of x? No? Nana, usually we write f of x, no? And then if we are going to get the derivative, ang notation kay f prime of x. Sakto? Sakto? Do you follow? If ang given is f of x, and then ang notation for its derivative is f prime of x. Di ba remember mo, guys, in yung junior high school math, f of x is just simply equal to y. Sakto? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. I don't know, for some reason, guys, kana ako sa running nose, kana kaning magtuo ra kalit yung nataligsikan mo kung the other day ko pag Monday, no, pag Sunday. Gagawas-gawas man ang yads. Pero wala ko hilanti. O sa kuubha. Sa kong ilong lang. Feel ako allergic yung nag-spray man ko ani dai bygone. There is kwarto. Kay daghag lamok. Moto allergic. So, with that being said, ang derivative sa y, guys, simply y prime. Kaya remember, kaning y prime, same naman sa f prime of x. dy over dx equals dx, and so on and so forth. Diba? Does it make sense? Kamo, Jod? Y prime. Just y prime. Derivative of y is y prime. Derivative of x is 1. Simple. Sige. So let's start doing this implicit. So when we say implicit derivative, guys, you can think of, okay, so implicit divisor, the y could be written 1 or more. The y variable could be written 1 or more. So what do we do here, sir? You take the derivative of each term, okay? You take the derivative of each term, and then after that, you do the algebraic manipulation by isolating the y prime and all of the terms transferring to the other side. That's how we do it. So let's start with this item here, number 1. Y cubed minus 3xy minus 2x plus 5. So as I said, we're going to take this term, or we're going to take this example as getting the derivative of each term. Okay? So what is the derivative of 3y? I'm sorry, 3y. Y cubed. What's the derivative of y cubed? The derivative of y cubed, guys, is 3y cubed y prime. What happens to y prime there? So nani siya, guys? Ang, di ba, when you take the derivative of 3x, I'm just gonna try to mimic the same example but different variable. What's the derivative of x cubed? How do you do this? How do you do this? Di ba you bring down 3? So you bring down 3, you copy x, and then you do 3 minus 1, and then you multiply it by the derivative of x. What is the derivative of x? Which is technically 1. Mo na yung answer 3x squared. Mo na yung answer 3x squared. So basically, guys, mao di ay, sir, in the previous examples that we have doing this, we are already doing chain rule behind or at the back end. Naghimo na the chain rule. So it just so happen nga, ang derivative sa x is 1, ato lang gisuwat dito 3x squared because when we multiply 3x squared by 1, it is just 3x squared. Tama? Do you agree? So that scenario would still be applied to y cubed. Unsa na siya, Marion? Bracket. So that scenario would would, would still be applied to y cubed. So the idea here would still be the same. It's just that the difference is we're not gonna write y as 1 for its derivative. We're gonna write y prime as the derivative of y. Amen. So I'm gonna erase this para magets para ano man there's something wrong.
Sir, nganong cube gyapon ang y, sir?
Ay, sorry, sayap ko. Muna din na. Thank you so much. Sige, erase that. So this is 2. Good catch. Okay, very good. Minus, minus this one, another na sad, kung sa derivative ani. So I'm gonna copy the constant first. Sige. I'm gonna take the derivative of these two things here. And if you notice, that's product rule. Amen? So I'll copy x. Unsa derivative sa y? Y prime. Plus, I will write y times derivative sa x, 1. Familiar sa product rule? Naka-follow sa product rule? I hope naka-follow ani. Minus, unsa derivative sa 2x? It's just 2 na lang. No? Amen? Derivative sa 5 is 0 equals derivative sa 0 is just 0. Because constant man siya. Nakuha na? Nag-gets lang ang process? I hope so nag-gets ang process. Ha? I'm gonna simplify and distribute 3, negative 3 rather. I have 3y squared y prime minus 3x y prime plus 3y minus 2 equals 0. So after doing this, guys, this is what I said earlier, that you had to isolate the y prime. In other words, we're going to be solving for y prime algebraically. So algebra ra gyud siya ang calculus, guys. If about or if perfect, no, I would not say perfect, but if our algebraic manipulation that we have or we had before is strong, dili mo dapat ma-worry. So I'm going to transfer 3y and negative 2 to the other side, and their signs will be changed. So we have 3y squared y prime minus 3x y prime equals positive 2 minus 3y. Amen? transferring -2, yung usual ginagamit na transpose, guys. Transpose should not be used, should not be the correct term to be used sa kuan, sa inyong manipulation. It's actually, so really dapat, it's kuan, dapat inverse operation mo na dapat ang ginagamit. And I'm not sure nga nung most of the teachers in high school, especially in public schools, use the word transpose. Transpose, guys, only can only be used in graphing, transposing one's shape, same shape of graph to another area in the quadrangle, in a coordinate system. So that's the whole idea. So going back, since we are going to isolate the y prime, I'm gonna factor out the y prime from the left side. So ang makita po ani guys is y prime 3y squared minus 3x equals 2 minus 3y. No? And since I said earlier that we're going to be solving for y prime, I'm going to be dividing both sides by 3y squared minus 3x. So 3y squared minus 3x over 3y squared minus 3x. And then finally, Ariel happened to me y prime 2y 3y over 3y squared minus 3x. And that's your answer. That's how you get, or that's how you solve the derivative implicitly. Question. Masabtan ra so far? Ha? Hopefully masabtan ra ha. And then by the end of this week, guys, I'll upload more examples how to get the derivative implicitly, as well as the chain rule of derivatives. Mga siguro sige no sa kaning book I'll pick 5 examples and I'll explain it video recording, and then I'll upload it sa Toang Shello as like additional stuff, any additional learning items in our Shello accounts, in your Shello accounts, and then you can refer it to them. So within this week, guys, I'm gonna upload an assignment. Mga 3 items I go to work on, and then I haven't checked the first assignment yet. I'm still checking on it. I'm still checking. Nag-start ako sa block A, and then yung kaman na sunod. And then, yeah, I'm gonna upload an assignment for this week, mga 3 items to work on. And then next week, guys, May 7, which is going to be Friday, you're going to have a quiz, okay? The coverage for the quiz, guys, kay starting ani kaning 1, 2, 3, 4. Kaning upat ka buok nga lesson kanang week 6 kani, week 6 part 2, week 6 part 3, and week 7. So, next meeting, I will discuss applications of no. I will discuss another application of derivatives, which is related rates na. No? Related rates na. And then, dili pa siya part sa quiz, ang discussion next week. Ang part sa quiz, guys, is kanipang upat ka po. And it's a multiple choice, and then 2 items apod nga same na good sa atong previous quizzes, multiple choice, and then 2 items nga unsa ni? Nga
Show your solutions.
yes. Show your solution. Guys, I want to challenge you guys kana without checking the book ba. Try to solve this daw if makaya ninyo ni. Just kuan kanang makaya ninyo. And then do it your own, and then compare your answers sa book. Ay sumuk attempt or kanang attempt to see or to check the book what's the final answer, because the answer is already in the book man. And I can guarantee you walay error kaning examples after atong first kani siya after ani this is the answer for that. Tara, naabot ta aning answer, I think. Let me compare it if we have the same answer here. So oops, lahi lagi tag answer. Nga naman ni. Kanong 3y plus 2 man diri. Okay. There's something wrong na tong answer, no? No. When I distribute -3, guys, this should have been -3. Kani siya. Agree? Alas tres, Queen. -3. Nagets inyo? When we distribute negative 3 ba, dapat negative 3y na siya. And then when we transfer negative 3y, this becomes positive dapat. So plus na siya. Plus. Okay, there you go. So let's compare it sa book. This is plus. So let's compare here. Do you see it? Are they
Same
the
na, sir.
same now?
Yeah.
2 plus
3y
3y.
plus
Very
2 plus
good.
3.
So that's the whole idea. Be careful on saan mo sa mga manipulations sa algebra, guys. And these examples that you can see on the book, guys, from here, for this example, walay error, walay type error. Ako minsan gi-check when I was in UC pa. So yeah. This is the same book that we were using when I was in UC 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Kani sad siya, kani guys, this is the answer for this item. Kani siya, kani. It may be complicated, the final answer, but guys, try to do it before checking this answer here. I can guarantee you fulfilling it ang paminaw if maka-answer mo. Dili technically nga kani good nga answer, but try to kanang compare ba pareha ba gud sila. Di na lang siya gibuhat diri nga kanang something nga mo lahi unya sa inyong answer. Tanawa lang nya. And then same thing said Annie, you can just practice this, guys. And yeah, that's it. So next meeting, we're gonna talk about, these are more examples of like implicit derivative. So we're gonna talk about how to move on. We're gonna talk about kani application of derivatives related rate. So this was the example. Di ko sure ha, pero kato gani, di ba naka-mention ko guys nga kanang sani naamoy sana kada ganing manag-uyab gipost sa Facebook nga nagbuwag sila and they walk away from each other with a certain speed. So let's say si boy kay walk faster than the girl. So boy maybe walk 2 minutes per no two steps per minute. 2 steps? Huh? Hinaya good. Let's say for example
Sa
mga
introduction.
mga 10 steps, no, mga 50 steps per minute. So na example 50 steps per minute siguro si boy. Sa girl kay 30 steps per minute. So kato siya dili to sila distance sa velocity to sila. And then you're going to ask how fast man they walk away from each other. So let me give you like a whole scenario pa. For example kani mo nilahang kanang sana diri sila gaaway kana that's a tree. This is the boy and this is the girl. Away sila. And then the boy walks going to the north and then the girl walks going to the east, no? So the notion guys is magsigig lakaw si boy at the same time si girl magsigisag lakaw. Ang ilang distance guys kay magkalayo yun na magkataas lang distance sa each other. Ang pangutana ani karon is how fast man they walk away from each other. So that's one of the things that we can apply the idea of derivatives. Magamit ka pa ng derivatives ani. Just to give you an example, in your case, if in physics or physics 1 and 2 ninyo or chem, kanang mag-mixture mo ana na beaker ba natawag ana or container, then magbutang mo liquid with a certain like anang velocity, volume ana, and then for example, musaka man gid ang liquid ana sa pananggikan sa empty glass padung ana musaka man gid pangutana ana karon how fast man ang pagsaka sa water kung magsigi kag buo water there. How fast the liquid goes up inside the container kung magsigi kag buo. That's one example sa related rates. And that's going to be discussed next meeting, guys. And just so you know, guys, ang first derivative ako ni siya ang kuan ha ang relationship sa calculus to physics. Ang first derivative is velocity. Ang second derivative is acceleration. So what is second derivative, guys? It's very simple. Second derivative is the derivative of the first derivative. Okay? So di ba when you say velocity, when you say acceleration is a velocity with a direction. Sakto? Sakto? Yeah, I hope makarelate mo na sa yung physics. Anyway, so question, it's already 10:30. Questions, guys. Ako sa inform akong 11D nga magkita 11D. So, wala question na? Meet at 11D. I don't know. Dili di acceleration ang speed by direction.
Ako remember sir
Yeah,
acceleration.
sakto. Thank you so much, Ara. Ang velocity is a speed with direction. A speed with a direction. Ang acceleration is the change of speed. Sakto din. Very
Yeah.
good. Thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, guys. We'll discuss it later. We'll discuss more about it when it comes to kanang next week na good. And guys, I'm just sharing you the first derivative sa kanang derivative. Ano, ang kanang formula nga ihatag yung physics 1 ug physics 2 grade 12, guys. Dito ra nagikuha giderive gikan sa derivative rasad nga concept. So yeah, thank you so much. Diyan kanang inig lunch time mo lang bi kay naka klase after ani.
Sige
Ha?
sir.
Sige. Hubog ka no pag-upload nimo. Charot la recorded yan.
Buka sir.
Ako sa